I think it's pretty obvious we don't know what we're talking about, so I think everything's good.
Now y'all know what's wrong with me. And on that note,
I don't even know if it was bad refing. I just know that it was bad on our part.
Go support your team. Go
Yes.
support band, cheerleaders.
The autumn mix inspired Michael Bauer. It's the first time he's ever raised his hands on a yes.
Well,
so that's pretty impressive.
Scare that referee coming back. Let's talk a little football.
hey, welcome everybody to the Press Box. I'm so glad you can join us, and I am here with the cast of usual suspects here. Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn, Austin Reams. I'm really glad that I got the names right. I feel like I'm like 3 for 3 so far.
I'm scared to say
in
that.
2023 Press Box. So
You may not have prepared everything, but you studied.
that's right. I studied. So
But he doesn't have his college
I don't have my
football
college
book.
football book yet, but I've still been prepping.
Okay.
Yes, no is coming, y'all. Yes, no is coming. So
There you go,
y'all
buddy.
hang on for that in the college part of the Press Box. Let's talk high school football. Let's talk Thomas County Central, big win, 45-7 over Thomasville. And, I've been just impressed with Central's O-line, Randy. I think they're tough, smart, big, strong, all you want, and they dominated that game, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Well, I said last week, I thought the story was going to be told. It was kind of interesting to me. You had Cam Hill coming in with a year's worth of experience with a line in front of him that a lot of new faces, although they did have some experience, they didn't have that spotlight on them. And kind of the same way with the Thomasville defensive front. I thought both of the lines of scrimmage for Central were very, very impressive. As we were talking before we started taping, Thomasville just didn't have a chance to run their offense. It was the plays were being disrupted the moment the ball was snapped. But I agree with what you're saying. The senior-laden offensive line, size, speed, athleticism, and experience. That's a good combination. And you put somebody like Trey Brenton back there behind him, who's a pretty good running back. That's a good combo. So I agree with you. And as long as those guys stay healthy, that'll be a good point for us as we move ahead, no doubt.
Yeah. Any other? We'll talk more about the game too with Jim as well. But
you don't have to. Yeah. I got white on. We surrender.
To me, when that offensive line's dominating, and I think that the coaching staff did a great job of just putting it on them of like, hey, well, we're going. I'm not taking away anything from anybody else.
I get it.
And the quarterback did well and had his spots. I thought running the ball, got that first touchdown. When you, it reminds me a little bit of like Alabama when they were winning in that 2013, 2010 era, kind of where you just that offensive line kind of dictates the terms of the game and defensive line too. I don't want to shortchange them, but
well, what it does, with a young quarterback in there, of course, Jalen really in his second start, as far as a real game is concerned, it gives him confidence, and you can tell that. He never panicked. He kept his head about him. But the other thing we talked about last week, what always it seems in this game, somebody steps up that you've never even expected to step up. And Trey Pringle was that guy last week. Trey's a sophomore wide receiver. He had 160 yards receiving on 5 catches and a couple of touchdowns and showed some good speed when he got the ball. That to me was impressive. And again, Jalen, the young sophomore quarterback, throwing for almost 300 yards and very composed. The biggest compliment he got was from Charlie Ward Jr. Charlie said, his coolness reminds me of me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's about as high a praise as you're going to get. Now, he's not the athlete Junior was, but at the same time, the way he carries himself on the field, the more confidence he gets as the year goes along, the more dangerous he's going to be. And I'm excited to see what he does. It's going to be fun. And the defense, too. We need to give them credit. Yeah. Fantastic ball game. Thomasville ends up with about 19 yards rushing on 21 carries or something like that. And the big play they had, the touchdown, if you take that out, they end up with less than 100 yards total. So good night for the defense, good night for the Yellow Jackets, and now we move on to Bainbridge, which will be a test.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on that. Do you think the run game's going to dominate, or how do you think you're going to get a victory against Bainbridge?
Are y'all a 38-point favorite? Just asking for a friend.
We are not a 38-point favorite, just saying. Okay. Bainbridge is a very athletic football team, very physical. And last week against Coffee, it sounds like Coffee kind of took the game over along the line of scrimmage as the game went along. I don't know if Bainbridge got tired or what. But I'm expecting this to be a very, very tough and physical game, and we're playing them over there. That's a tough place to play. So hopefully our guys will show up. Just play our game. That's my thing. If we play the way we played the last couple of weeks, if Bainbridge wins, they're just a better football team. But if we show up and play our game, it should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, playing your game, we're going to talk about Cairo, Thomasville, and see who can kind of play their game and dictate terms there. But quick thoughts on the Thomasville Central game and just kind of what do you think the players are going to take away from this game and kind of learn and get better at?
Well, you just got to erase that from your memory, look at the film and make some corrections. The line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball for Central destroyed our line of scrimmage, and that's where the game's won, is in the trenches. It doesn't matter who's the running back or whatever if you have no line of scrimmage in front of you. Yeah. And when Cam would hand the ball off, our offensive line was in the backfield with the running back, so there was no place for him to go.
There's no play to call.
No,
when that
there's
happens,
no play
by
to
the way.
call. There's, we did have a few chances with some RPOs, quick throws over the middle, and we missed a couple of them. We hit a couple of them too, but I mean, you just got to erase that from your memory. We take one game at a time, and this week it's the battle with the Cairo syrup makers that we're looking forward to.
Well, give me your thoughts coming in this game. We'll rope Michael in as well, but Michael's 500th game, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of celebration, a lot of distraction there.
I can't
You're looking forward to it, aren't you?
But just kind of
Let me clear this up. There will be no celebration for Michael's 500th game.
Yeah.
You're trying to surprise me.
No.
Yeah,
It's okay.
that's right.
I want to be surprised.
I heard they were putting your name over one of the urinals. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I heard.
I think
mean,
we got a bronze pizza we'll put up inside the restroom for you.
It's
Yeah,
an
that's-
honor, Michael. It's an honor.
I mean,
Just saying, it's something.
I graduated from that. Me and William Andrews kind of made that place.
Yo, just like
feel
that.
like.
yeah,
Yeah. William Andrews, just
an
like that.
impact, yes, for sure.
Here we go.
So both these teams, I think, to me, I look for just a well-played kind of like. I think to me, both of these teams match up pretty well. It's going to be interesting.
It's always a good football game. No matter who wins it, it's going to be a battle to the end, just like last year, just like every year. It's a couple of years ago, Cairo got out in front of us by 21 points. Then the Dogs battled back and had a chance to win that one. And then last year, it was just came down to the last series we had the ball. We scored late and then stopped them with our famous 3-5-6 defense. The secondary,
Very unique.
We had an umbrella over the whole field. There wasn't
Yeah.
no, and picked off the pass and ran it in. And
Hey, if you get away with it, it
That's
works.
right,
man.
that's
That's
right,
brilliant.
that's
Just
right.
saying.
3-5-6 is very effective.
Yeah.
by the way,
Yes.
Just so you know.
but
It
anyway,
stopped us.
anyway, the referees couldn't count. I don't know where they went to school, but
There we go.
Yeah.
that was a big win. But it's going to be a battle. It'll be a battle. We gotta lick our wounds and get over it. And I don't think
Yeah.
we got anybody hurt. Everybody's healthy and ready to go. And this week's going to be kind of messed up because with no school, you can't practice football. So there'll be no practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you got the Thursday walkthrough before I think they're going to practice this afternoon or third.
Yeah, a lot of
Wednesday
practice is going to be disrupted,
Right.
so it's
What's
going
the
to be a
series
difficult
record,
day.
guys?
Yeah.
Do you know?
A
Yeah.
lot to a little. It's like 43-27
Something
and
like
6
that.
or
Okay.
something.
Yeah. But since
We're what?
1922.
2022.
1922.
Wow. So this is the
Jim
101st.
played.
Yeah.
No, I was a water boy.
It's funny.
Yeah, so I guess this is the 100th, right? Is that how that goes? I'm
I'd have to.
terrible
I'd
at
have to go
I
back. I don't know
I wouldn't
exactly.
trust him.
Don't trust
I'd have to
me.
look in the back of our program to get the.
I graduated from Thomasville. Don't trust me.
I don't know that they've played every year.
Yeah, they haven't played
No,
every
we
year.
haven't played every year because in the 70s when we broke their quarterback's leg,
We
they quit playing
we,
us.
We chickened out. We
They
just
quit
said
playing?
we're not going to get our people
Did you have
hurt over
something to
there.
do with that?
They
I
didn't
did.
have to.
Well, I was at Thomasville then.
Yeah,
And,
see, that's
They didn't have to play Andrews
I
anymore.
was over there with
Yeah.
William. Me and William were.
Just like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was toting your trumpet around.
he was. He helped me at halftime.
I'm not going to tell you what he was toting to Williams, but that's a totally different story.
How do I come
right.
here?
Anyway, should be a good football game if Michael will stay out of the way.
it's going to be fun. So, Cert Makers win over Monroe. You're up 35-0. To me, a lot of things on offense look like you got fixed, got rolling really well, and then you're bringing some confidence into this Thomasville game. Tell me about
Well,
that.
I think it was a great thing because those boys have been through the woodshed. I mean, they springed it up with Colquitt County, didn't have a lot of success. Then preseason Ware County, two good football teams. Then you open with Thomas County Central, who's rolling. So we need some success, and I thought we came out and like I said, put up 35 points. Had a great crowd. I was worried, the crowd may give up on us, but there was a big crowd there, and we rolled 35-0. Second half, we had a running clock. Can I talk about the running clock for a minute? Y'all, and I'm serious. I got a couple questions about a running clock.
Why do you get to call a timeout during a run?
Why do you get to call timeout? You should not. If you're running the clock to get the game over because you're beating the other team so bad, they shouldn't get to call timeout and stop the game. We're trying to get it over.
That's right.
Now, if you want to call timeout and let the clock run, hey, have at it.
Yeah.
But they because 35-0. We're rolling along there. We start putting the JV in. Well, Monroe keep first team in. They go score. Now they're on fire.
Yeah.
Then they strip a ball from our JV, running back, scoop it and score. Now they are sky high. They're calling timeouts. They're
back in the ball game.
They're back in, and all of a sudden we got to put the varsity back out there to finish the game. And we were driving to score again, but Coach Coleman took a knee and didn't put another point on the board. But I kept thinking, how many more times is this clock going to stop on a running clock? It stops. So, really, it stops more than it does when it runs.
So why is it a running clock?
Why do you have a running clock? Because it stops for penalties, timeouts, injuries. It stops for everything but incomplete passes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or running out of bounds.
Or run out of bounds.
got a
But
point.
it
You got a
stops 100 times. And the other team, we're trying to get you out of this game. Stop calling timeout. We're trying to get you to Mr. Chick.
Yeah.
So y'all can eat before you go home,
Yeah.
before they close. And anyway, that's my soapbox for there. Now we got to play Thomasville, and like you said, the
Confidence is
I
big
think
coming in.
I think it was perfect timing
Yep.
with Monroe to get our guys confidence up. They've had a good short week of practice because, like we said, we're getting disrupted with the storm. But quarterback had a great game, and this is was probably his best game because he went to Mitchell last year, and his family moved back to Cairo, and this has really been his first, success. He had a long run for a touchdown, threw for 2 touchdown passes. Jadarian G. Simmons and Jamichael Williams' son, Jeremiah Williams, who was a defensive player, caught a touchdown. We put him in and tight end, and he scored a touchdown. And we got a kicker who didn't get a chance to even get on the field except to kick off one time against them.
Sorry.
But Andred Rojas, and he kicked all of his extra points and did a good job. So, but now Thomasville, and like Jim said, we were at 21-0 2 years ago and got beat, and then last year we took the lead late, and they're 4th down and 12 at the 12, and time running out, and they run a trick play and beat us, and then they come out with that is exactly how it
They
happened.
drew that play up on the sideline.
Of course, I didn't.
That play happened because Cole Shaw was lined up wide and everybody was on him, and he told Coach, he said, just let me run across the end zone and throw the ball back to Cam. And that's what happened. Everybody followed Cole.
We did.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it'll be an exciting game. And
Trick plays are not part of football?
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay.
And I'm not denying it. You ran a trick play.
It's a trick play.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
You do what you
right.
got to do, and
That's
they
right.
did it. And
I expect this to be kind of a close game, but there's always some wackiness involved in this game.
Let me ask you guys this: is this for some of the Cairo folks, and for some of the Thomasville folks, the biggest rivalry game?
For
of the year?
me, growing up, Cairo was our biggest rival.
I think it's for old, the
us
people
older
of Cairo,
it's a
the
big
Cairo
deal.
Thomasville game is big. For the younger generation, the Cairo Central game, the Cairo Bainbridge games are more. For the really, like the teenagers, the Bainbridge game.
All right, well, let's move on to Colquitt County, and maybe we can not talk about the rivalry game for a minute here, and we'll talk about Colquitt. They beat Stockbridge 47-27, and Stockbridge was in this game for a while, had some athletes, and I heard from saw Coach Calhoun, and he was just talking about trying to be a little more consistent. They had some plays that they made some series that they didn't do as well, but obviously if you win by this amount and you're still kind of disappointed, that means you're a good football team. And they will play Tift County. I heard Tift County's still not where they were at some point. So maybe a
better
good
than
right
they
game.
have
But
been,
they're
but
better.
I'm not sure what that's saying.
Yeah.
This will be the third year of the coach from Michigan.
Yeah, and that may be the last, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Who knows?
Other games around South Georgia, Worth County beat Mitchell County 44-12, and another rival game. We got Pelham heading to Mitchell County, so that's going to be fun. Again, always crazy things happen in these rivalry games. And then, speaking of Pelham, they were beat Chattahoochee 34-2. So I'd love to know the story about that safety, but I don't know. And then Brookwood went to Weewah-Hitchcock and won 41-0. TJ Thomas with 6 touchdowns, and they have Maclay, one of our few home games this year. Maclay's coming into town, so
Why y'all only got 3 home games?
we ended up with a bunch of home games last year.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of got this switch around. So it's kind of in the COVID scramble, trying to find people,
Right.
and that's just kind of what you could do. So anyway, most of the time, pretty evenly matched between Brookwood and Maclay. So that'll be a fun game. And speaking of fun, we got college football coming up.
Hey,
We're coming back. And we are back for the college edition of Press Box with yes, no thrown in. But we actually have games to talk about, so really happy about that. Always a lot going on, always a lot to talk about, and especially let's talk about the game that everybody's talking about this preseason. Everybody's so looking forward to, and that's
We talking about Ohio State and Indiana?
well, no. Even more interesting is UT Martin at Georgia. That's what everybody's been talking
man.
about. Everybody wants to know, do the Dogs have a chance? Just kidding.
Against the spread?
Yeah,
we got to
like
send that to Kirby.
that's right. He'll need
Question
that as
whether they got a
motivation.
chance or not. We need to send that to Kirby.
That's
He'll use it
motivation
the rest
for
of
him.
the year.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
That guy in Thomas will say we didn't stand a chance.
That's right. No way they're going to win this. What do you want to see from Carson Beck this game? You can kind of, I think if you're Georgia, you can kind of win any way you want to. So what do you want to see from
right.
Carson Beck? What do you
Take it
say,
run.
Michael?
I just want to figure out how to see the game. Because
Yeah, that's
apparently,
That's true.
It's another problem.
apparently it's going to be on the Farm Network or something out of Dothan. I mean, I don't know. It's
Farm Network.
As I understand it, it's on SEC Plus, which is an online exclusively.
So you got to subscribe to it.
You have to subscribe to it. So even if you
Do y'all
have,
have internet in Cairo? Is that-
Yes.
No, they hadn't got that far yet.
even if you have, they have fine internet. They have CNS Next internet there.
That's right.
But if
Some
you
of the
There
time-
you go.
if you have SEC Network, that does not mean that you have SEC Plus online.
I've been
So
searching
anyway.
and I done figured out we got to pay $9.99 a month to get this thing to see one game.
Whoa.
That's a tough
And
one.
$9.99 just don't fall out of the sky.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Just listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
With Scott Howard.
He'll paint
Scott
you a
Howard,
picture.
there you go.
He'll paint you something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't
So
know.
wait,
It's going to
you-
be
are
tough
they
to
gonna-
follow Stetson.
Are they going? Yeah,
That's your man.
yeah.
That's my
That's
guy.
your guy right there. I mean, to me, if I'm Georgia,
My had times have
I
changed.
know. To me, if I'm
Don't
Georgia,
get me
I'm
started.
gonna throw the ball around the lot a little bit just to see what Carson Beck has, right? I mean,
Yep.
I hate to say it's like a scrimmage, but I can say this since I'm not a Georgia fan. Like, it's a scrimmage, and I would use it as such. So, what do you think?
I think you're going to see kind of a balanced attack from Georgia. I think you're going to see a lot of running. Remember the name Andrew Paul, young man that was touted as going to be one of the leaders of the backfield last year, who had an ACL injury in the fall workouts early. From what I've been told, he has been very, very impressive. And of course, it sounds like the running backs are banged up at Georgia. Kendall
Yeah.
Milton's still nursing a hamstring. Dejan from Moultrie
Yeah, from
has got
Moultrie.
some MCL sprain issue. So, but I think you'll see them use Beck enough just to get his confidence level up more than anything. Biggest thing is he's got a really good offensive line in front of him. Kind of the same thing we're talking about with Central.
Yeah.
He's got an opportunity to build up some confidence, and I think they'll use him to do that, and hopefully successfully. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk LSU at Florida State. The game's going to be in Orlando. Maybe the biggest game of the weekend. So there's several others going to be fun, but this one,
It's on
kinda
Sunday night.
everybody on Sunday night on ABC. Everybody's going to be kind of watching
get
this
that
one.
right.
So he
I
don't
get
have
ABC.
You get ABC.
I
Yeah,
get
ABC. All right, good deal.
So
So
get the Farm Network.
I thought maybe the interesting question for this one would be which position group is going to win this game. You can always say the offensive line, or you can always say defensive line. But y'all thoughts on, and I'll go ahead and get mine out there just to get discussion going. I think it's going to be wide receivers. Whoever, wide receivers for both groups, both LSU and Florida State, are both very good. Whoever comes out there and makes plays, I think is going to be the team that wins. Most of the time in these games, you say battle of the trenches, those type of things. But to me, they'll kind of both offset each other. They're both pretty good offensive, defensive lines that offset each other. So, what do you think, Jim?
I was thinking quarterback, running backs, but the wide receiver, both teams have real good athletic quarterbacks. So it's going to be how does the quarterback handle the pressure and whether he's on to hit those wide receivers.
Yeah.
So he's going to need his running backs help a little bit too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So obviously, quarterbacks I think to me
they might wash each other out.
Yeah, they're both they're so similar. They may wash each other out. But Randy, what's your thought? What position group here for this game?
Anytime you've got a dual threat quarterback, your linebackers better be on their game.
That's a good point.
And whichever linebacking group really excels probably is going to give their defense an advantage. I think most everywhere it looks like they're fairly even. I mean, that's just a statistical fact. But whichever linebacker group shows up and is able to contain that guy the best is probably going to give his team the best shot to win.
Yeah, maybe defensive coordinator who comes up with a way to
That's true.
To spy. You might have to spy with a defensive back with these guys.
That's true.
So
That's true.
That's going to be like a really fun kind of coaching move of you're going to have to spy with a DB. Can you run out of that formation? Or
That's true.
all that X and O stuff is fun. But Michael, your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a lot of big plays. I think it's going to be kind of a track meet at times. So it'll be interesting to see who out big plays the other team.
All right,
Big
good
plays.
deal.
The big plays is what
Big
made the
plays
difference last
gonna
year
be
when
the
they
difference.
connected.
Yeah, it was last year. I don't see any difference.
Well, speaking of big, we got yes,
Got
no
yes, no.
coming
Can't
up
get bigger
right
than
here
that.
now. This is it. So,
Fans demand it.
all right, here we go, Michael. First question of the
Right
year
on
goes
the
to
gun.
you.
Here we go, baby.
This is
the
in
whole-
honor of your 500.
This
This is
All right.
right.
This is it.
This is the beginning
All
of
right,
the
this-
celebration.
I warned everybody these are a little salty coming out the gate
right,
here.
get
All right,
it.
Randy Young will fall asleep the first game versus the Georgia game. Randy Young will fall asleep during the Georgia game.
No, he'll be trying to figure out how to watch it. So he'll be
Okay.
busy.
He'll be busy. What do you say? He's going to fall asleep in that Georgia UT game?
I would
Martin?
say it'd kind of be a boring game, so I probably would if I was watching.
He may fall asleep. Randy?
I'm going to be with my dog boys, all of the Georgia guys that we always, and there is no way to fall asleep in
Okay.
that group. I'm just telling if Blake Brookard's in there, you're not falling asleep. I'm just telling you, right?
All right, there
Ain't
we go.
happening.
All right, Randy, the Gators will win over Utah because they've erased all the negativity, just like the Swamp Kings documentary.
How about
Yeah,
that?
there we
were
go.
just
How
talking
about that? They're going to erase all the negativity and win over Utah.
I think Florida will play better than most people are expecting, but Utah has a really good team, and it is in Utah. I think again Utah will have an advantage. Utah will win, but I think Florida will make a better showing than folks.
Didn't
are
they
expecting.
play last year?
They played last
Yeah.
year. Florida won a really good game last
Really
year.
good game
so.
last year.
What do you say, Michael?
What was the question?
Oh, goodness. You got to make me
Farm
read
network.
again.
He's
The,
showing
the-
his age.
the Gators will win over Utah.
Oh yeah, about the movie and all.
Yeah, about Swamp Kings.
Swamp Kings.
That totally forgot about all
no,
the.
Gators
that's
will
it.
not win over Utah.
All right. I say they will win over Utah.
Whoa.
I don't think they will at Utah. I think
Yeah.
Utah's got too good of a football team and a very good coach.
Yeah, I like Utah. I like their team. Kyle Whittingham's awesome. Not quite sure about their quarterback just yet. That's
what
the
I was
only
gonna say.
kicker. There's a
He
little
got
bit
hurt
of.
last year, didn't he?
He got hurt, and there's nothing. We don't really know at this point, like who is playing. But Cam Rising
Florida's
was really
schedule's
good.
weak because they got Florida on their schedule.
Yeah, Florida.
Well played.
All right, this one's for Jim. Jim, by killing the Big 12, the SEC has ruined college football for the foreseeable future.
Well, along with the Big Ten killing the Pac-12, I'd say yes.
All right, you say yes, because that was first blood, I guess. But, you could argue with me there. All right, Randy, what do you say? Did the SEC kill college football as we know it?
This has been a series of things.
Yeah, that
has
could
led
be
to
argued
this.
there.
I mean,
Okay.
now the SEC, I think, has been kind of the center point of it to a degree. Unfortunately, it's just about money, period.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that's what it comes down to. And I don't know that that's the SEC's fault, but
That is the era we're in.
yeah, that's the
That
era
is
we're
the
in.
era.
I'm not going to say it's the SEC's fault, but I can see where you could make that case.
All right, Michael.
Well, as video killed the radio star,
Hey, the
Yeah.
Buggles.
Oh man.
I believe
What we got here?
that's not good.
What in the heck?
We
Hopefully
got an
it's not
Amber Alert.
It's a
right now.
hurricane warning.
Why didn't I get? I live in Cairo. We don't get. I'm the only one.
You turn it upside down and shake it like an etch a sketch.
Maybe there's no hurricane warning for Grady County.
I
That
know.
may be it.
We in the clear.
Maybe Jim runs the hurricane warnings for Cairo. That's what it is.
I thought Mike Gammons was about to come through the door from somewhere. I was.
Oh, Jim's that's it. Jim's in charge of the Grady County EMS. That's why you didn't get a darn
man.
notification. Oh my gosh.
So you think that it's not the SEC that killed college football?
It's money, money, money.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I'm a certified SEC hater. In the SEC's defense, that's right. I've got the card. I can
If
show
it
you.
wouldn't have been the SEC, it would have been somebody
Well,
else.
exactly. In their defense, also they're not going to do anything that ESPN and Fox, they're not going to do anything that they don't want them to
That's
do.
exactly right.
So again, and that is the money.
Yep.
I just wish that all these guys, they had a lot of foresight and a lot of things. They've kept traditions up for a long time.
Yep.
And they didn't at this point, and that's not just the SEC,
Right.
Big 10, and all of them. Y'all remember
Big
about
20.
Big whatever they are now.
Big everything.
Y'all do remember last year there was the Pac-12 and Big 10 and ACC alliance. Y'all even remember,
I remember
that last
that.
year?
I remember that.
So I mean, what was that worth? But anyway, a new era of college football coming in 2024. So.
Not necessarily better either. But
Yep,
anyway.
yep. All right. Randy, LSU can afford to lose the FSU game. LSU can afford to lose the FSU
Yes.
game. I say yes.
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 Yes, because
Lose
they're SEC school.
And they get
They
a
get a
mulligan,
pad. They
right?
Get a
They-
mulligan.
they
They
get a
run the
mulligan.
table from that point on, they're in.
Yeah.
Period.
And they had a good chance to get in it last year, maybe even with 2 losses, but ended up with 3, I think, because they lost a pretty bad Texas A&M team at the end of the year last year.
Yep.
So, all right, last one. Gee whiz. All right. As you guys know, Michigan imposed a ban, a self-imposed ban.
Suspension.
A suspension. So Jim Harbaugh is not going to be coaching the first 4 games. I think it's all related to buying hamburgers, but they lied to the NCAA, and so that's why they're
Well,
that's
they're
the
not
whole
letting
deal.
Jim Harbaugh on hot diggity dog either.
Yeah, they're
not.
He can't
Out.
Dog
He's
on it.
out.
They're not. So
Excommunicated right
so-
there.
So in this vein, in this spirit here, so Randy, in honor of Michigan's self-imposed punishment, Michael Best will self-impose punishment for himself to broadcast on the home side this week. What do you say?
Yes, there's an idea right
Yeah.
there.
Self-imposed
There's an
some
idea
punishment.
right there.
And I have
To
go to the home side.
go to the home side and broadcast this week.
And I'm sure Jim would help you with that.
I got kicked out of the home side.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know that I'm even welcome over there now.
Yeah, you're not
you
welcome.
can't even come over there.
All right, not to that good air conditioning over on.
Can't
the
have
east
Stay
that.
on the other side.
Can't have that.
Guy can't even come back to his hometown and get a good celebration.
Or hot diggity dog.
Or
You can't
hot
do that
diggity
either.
Hot
dog.
diggity
Dog
dog.
on it.
All right, in that spirit, we hope y'all have a great weekend of football. Go out and celebrate what's good. Band, cheerleaders, football players. Let's go. Let's have a great weekend. See you
Amen.
next time on the Press Box.